And your underlying energy is the same as Sagittarius. It is the Lovers. And why do we have the Lovers underneath here? Because of the Three of Swords, past pains. Finding a way to find love or to be in love despite the past pains that come up. And you already can tell from this reading here that we are definitely dealing with the Release Your Ex kind of energy, because this is about releasing of the past, not really releasing the person. Because it looks like the Lovers here, this talks about a connection that's there, of course, a soulmate connection that is there. But the pains of the past is keeping you from being able to start something new, to enter a new life, to enter a new cycle, right? And you can tell from this reading that there's some people that definitely are holding on to some sort of blockages or some things that's keeping them from being able to move forward, right? It's a hard thing, family, but let's go ahead and jump into this. Pick the side that resonates with y'all the most here, but of course, guys, whichever side that you do end up picking, that the other side will be your soulmate energy, and soulmates can be your friends, family, co-workers, strangers on the street. They could be anybody. Please apply the soulmate energy where it's appropriate. If they could be your BF or your GF, or your spouse, but they don't have to be, right? Just want to put that out there. But I'm going to start with this person here. We already got this thing started off with somebody going into this relationship with a ton of baggage or a ton of burdens on their back. They are carrying the burdens of the past, of the past cycle, onto the next part. And it's like, yeah, well, buddy, it's probably not going to work very well because you can't see in front of you. Look at him. He's like, I'm going to carry these to the very, to the end. But you could be going the wrong damn direction, He's carrying them things in a way that not only will hurt his back, but it will also perhaps block him from being able to approach what he's going into with open arms, right? Because he's got things, he's all full already. So whoever this person is right now is going into this relationship, or see this relationship as the ending of a cycle, but then perhaps even having to drop a burden, having to leave something behind. They realize that this burden here is keeping them from actually embracing this relationship or embracing the love they feel because they've got some burdens that they're still carrying. Now, I really feel like this is burdens from the past cycle that they've been in, right? This is obviously a buildup of everything that they've been through. So obviously when you go from the 10, you have a history of going down that cycle, going through the cycle and coming up with this much stuff. So this person is definitely holding on to a grudge, or holding on to, I wouldn't say a grudge, but holding on to aspects or things that honestly are not able to serve them anymore. They think they got them to where they need to be, but this burden is no longer able to serve them, which is why the Release Your Ex cards come up here. Now, the other person showing up is the Queen of Pentacles. Could be you, Capricorn, because, Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn energy is loaned to the Queen of Pentacles, not owed, but the Queen of Pentacles, she is stable. She knows her worth. She knows her value. She's very routine. And I think this person sees this relationship and is committed to it. Like when they think about this relationship, they're still committed to the relationship. They're still committed to the partnership, right? Even if there was pains between you and this person, or bad blood, or some stuff that may have happened that could have been definitely differently, done, whatsoever, they're still connected. They're still committed. They haven't left. They haven't changed their mind. Like, this person is still solid here, right? And it's weird, right, with the Queen of Pentacles being, someone that's pretty stickler and stays in one place and has a routine and doesn't really break out of the norm too very often, but she's going through the Six of Swords at this moment, which is obviously talks about transition. And I feel like this person and you have a distance, because where you guys are, this person is obviously talks about traveling and going the distance and etc., but this person is also in the past, how they're presenting themselves. So not only is there a distance in the physical destination, mentality and maturity is different, as well as the timeline. Like, you guys' times are different too. Like, you guys have distance in not just space, but in time. So you guys may not be together at this moment, and it's weird. I don't want to say like, hey, your person is actually not born yet, you have to wait a little bit. No, I'm not saying that, but it's like where you guys are mentally, emotionally, physically, there's differences in all those areas, and there's distances that obviously are being expressed here, right? Because this person is definitely well into the past still. They're still in the past, even though they still feel the connection, they feel that first love. I think they're remembering the time when they were first in love, or where they really truly fell in love, and it was obviously that Three of Swords there. But this is them being lodged in the past, not wearing rose-tinted glasses in a way, but I feel like most importantly, this person is in the past while this person is trying to move towards the future. So there's a distancing between that. And I think the reason why this person is holding on to this wands is because they like to be in this area where they can remember where they were the most happiest, right? When they can remember the person like it was yesterday that they were first in love with. And even though this person here is committed to this relationship, they're looking to move forward for the progression of the relationship, while this person is holding on to the past because they haven't let go of whatever happened here. So I do feel like this person is trying to move on, leave the old behind. Even though this person is committed, it's routine, they're very practical, and I think they're also very bored here as well. They could, like, again, Capricorn, this could be you, so you may not be very bored, but you're very, you're solid right now. You're trying to be, you're in your energy, so you're doing the best that you can with obviously what you got, but you're still making the steps to move forward, move on with your life, leave your ex behind, right? Release your energy, trying to clear the space and move to something new. For the potential of great happiness, for potential for something new to come in out of it, to be able to have the space to prosper, to have some new energy come in. So again, this could be you, Capricorn, but this could be totally the other person as well. So what are we looking at here next? We're going to be looking at what brought you two together, which is the Magician. What brought you two together was one of the things that's interesting is it could be confidence that brought you two together. It could be, it could have been a manifestation. Somebody may have manifested or conjured somebody into their life, but it could have been mostly really that you guys have just been in a similar vibration, but you guys were both ready. That's what brought you two together. Being ready to take on another person, take on such a strong relationship as this is. The Six of Cups and the Lovers, that's that can speak of a past life connection that transcended into this, timeline. And of course, you guys were just ready to handle it at this point because perhaps this person was stable enough, and this person this is a growing portion for this person too, right? Because obviously the Ace of Cups talks about spiritual growth, and this person may have been ready to tack on the spiritual growth process that was needed, and this person had to go through some sort of transition because they're stubborn, or they're stuck in their own ways. They have a certain way of doing things. This person is very cautious and looking closely at the details, or this person was honestly ready to just transition, right? Transform to become the another version of themselves, right? You guys initiated something because you guys both showed that you were ready for this type of relationship. But the challenge that you both face is the Six of Pentacles, which is obviously getting something out of the relationship from each other. Because I think both of you guys are kind of on your own, soloing this. Because the Queen of Pentacles is independent. She's handling her own situation. Even though she's committed to the relationship, I mean, with the distance here that I'm seeing, the Lovers, there's distance there. Though you guys may not be together, you guys may not be in the same country or the same facility. Well, country, I need another card for that, but definitely not in the same space. Definitely not in the same space, quite some distance. And because this person's lodged in the past, it definitely adds to that distance there too. But I feel like this person is soloing this situation, doing the things that's on their own, being independent as much as they can, right, with what they've got. They know how to handle their business. They know how to take care of themselves. They're comfortable being in their own energy anyway. But the thing is that they're trying to move on, move forward. They're trying to leave the past behind so they can obviously have something new come in. They're trying to make the space. But the thing is that there's the Six of Pentacles there coming up as the challenge, showing us that there is something that's keeping you guys from being able to work things out and really get to a place where you guys can cooperate together, And I think the challenge may be that there is just this desire either to give or to take care of, or the challenge is that there's just something that's quite uneven here about this whole thing. I think there's obviously a balance that's needed. Like the distance between you, this person, time-wise, like this person being launched in the past and you seeking the future here, or whatever which side you guys pick. That's the distance that needs to be shaped up. That's a imbalance in itself. This person has to grow and start a new beginning for themselves and realize that this burden they carry, which is the past, it has its means to serve, but if this is something to continue to guilt trip them, to keep them from growing, to moving forward, this is, honestly, if you're cool with this, then don't listen to my advice. Don't listen to me, because this is not necessarily a healthy way to move forward. This is staunching your growth. This is not allowing yourself to expand to be the most that you can be. That's obviously you're holding back. And if that's what you want to do and you don't want to open up, then this may not be the mean for you, right? This may not be your time, and that's okay. That's cool. That you have to do it in your own time. Nobody's rushing. But understand that this is not a growing process. This is something that needs healing so that way you can grow. And that's what the Ace of Cups is setting up. There's a new beginning here, the new potential for a great love, but it starts by loving yourself and making space for new love to come in. Especially if you want to get back with your ex, there's no way, I don't see that there isn't a possibility for that to happen, but you have to be able to accept this situation for what it is. Yes, it was a time in the past that you were happy, but this is not the only time you're ever going to be happy. This is never going to be the only time you're going to be happy. History does repeat itself. It doesn't have to repeat itself in the bad way. It can repeat itself in the good way, but by learning from what we've gotten from those past situations. The Three of Swords is the past pain, and the only reason why it's a past pain is because there's a lesson in that we obviously need to learn, so we don't ever have to we don't ever let that opportunity happen again. And this person on this other side here with judgment, has gone through some transition, has, definitely went through some serious altering of themselves. And I think the reason why they're open to changing and moving forward and trying to make the transitions and trying to move on is because they are open to opportunities that come their way. In my opinion, they're open to opportunities, they're open to new experiences, they're open to different stuff, which is why I was kind of getting the vibe that this person may be bored, but this person is ready to commit themselves to a different step, to a different journey, and maybe even one where they may feel like they may not have another chance at again, right? Because the Judgment card talks about something resurrecting from the grave, or resurrecting the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? And that really means that this is a resurrection. This is a rebirth of a situation, rebirth of an opportunity. And I feel like this person wants to open the door to the rebirth of an opportunity so they can actually try and do something differently from what they've experienced last. Right? And the way they do it is by forgiving themselves, mourning, being open to their emotions, just allowing everything to just flow so they can truly clear the space and have something come through. This person's got to do the same exact thing. Judgment could be coming up for both of them, but this whole thing has to happen. And the reason why just Six of Pentacles is coming up is not because what everybody's going to get out of the relationship, but what effort both parties are going to be doing to equal the scale together. Really powerful reading this time, Capricorn. Really. Seriously powerful. So let's take a look at the Whispers of Love to wrap up the rest of this reading here. Good Lord, that's too many cards. That's too much. I don't even know how many that was. It's like half the deck. Okay, then. And it says, love who you are. See what I'm saying? Always goes back to loving yourself. And that's so important, because loving yourself and forgiving yourself and accepting who you are is the most important in order for love to come into your life, in order for perhaps a reconciliation, for a new love period. You have to love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, then you've got some things to work on until the other person comes in, because you have got to make sure that you learn from the mistakes, learn from the experiences from your past relationships, so you can implement all those things into this new relationship, so you can be able to have healthy boundaries and a healthier balance in your future relationships. But this card says, love who you are. And it says, You are a divine and wonderful person, deserving of all things, all wonderful things that life has to offer. And it's so 100% true, but you have to believe that first. The magician is only powerful because he believes in his ability. He's ready because he believes he's ready. He does things because he knows he can do it. And the magician is perhaps what threw you guys in together, right? You guys felt connected. You guys felt ready. You guys felt the most in your power at this time. And you have to get back into it. And, balance the scales for yourself. So that way there can be blossoming energy for the both of you. Whether it is that you go separate ways or you guys reconcile. Whatever your journey may end up, allow things to at least start to grow again. Winter's almost over. When is spring gonna start for y'all?